I don't even know where to start, but we're just gonna start. We're just gonna dive right in. I have missed you guys. I ended up taking a month off, but I've been kind of struggling with a lot this past month. And I like say this while I smile, which feels very unnatural. I should not be smiling right now, but I just really wanted to sit down and film a video about just things that have kind of enabled me and kept me from moving forward. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let's get to the point. I have been in this phase of life where I'm like forming into my motherly body and just gaining some weight on my hips and gaining some weight in my stomach, and my metabolism is slowing down. It's happening. It's the thing that everyone has prepared me for. Everyone's like, it's gonna slow down, you be ready for it. But I just never believed them. I was like, you know that invincible feeling where you're like, that's not gonna happen to me. It's happening to me. It's very interesting because I'm not somebody that like physically hates my body. I just kind of have built that confidence just because the people in my life have allowed me to build that confidence. But it's more of whenever I step on the scale. It's more of whenever I eat foods that aren't necessarily good for me. Honestly, either good or bad. If I eat a salad, I still feel it sometimes. And like my jeans aren't fitting anymore. I now have to like unbutton them at the dinner table, or I have to like unbutton them whenever it starts to hurt my stomach, and reaching down to tie my shoes. It doesn't feel the same as it used to, okay guys? I don't know if that makes sense, but it doesn't feel the same. It's been hard to navigate that because you're trying so hard to not hate on yourself and judge yourself, but in your head you're like, this doesn't feel right to me. This doesn't feel good. Like nothing's wrong with me. I don't want to change a thing about me. I don't want to lose weight. I don't want to do any of that. I am fine with my weight. I'm fine with my body right now. It's just changing and it feels so strange. Does that make any sense at all? My body's changing and who I am is changing, and I can feel it. I just feel myself like growing into a woman. There are days, I'm gonna be honest, that it does scare me. I don't love it, and I need to stop shaming myself for my beautiful body, okay? And so that kind of leads into my next thing. Is I've been dealing a lot with perfectionism, which is so funny because I'm like the most imperfect person ever. I've always just kind of been like, who cares? But now I am a perfectionist. And it's interesting, I actually have kind of, I'm somebody that like studies myself. I'm like, why do I do these things? Why am I this way? And I've kind of learned that the reason why I have all of a sudden kind of filtered out the things I say to people and just really watched what I do and my actions, the list can go on and on. But I've realized the reason why I do that is because I'm trying to make up for all of my teenage year mistakes and all the things that I did wrong whenever I was younger, and I don't want to do them again, to a point where it's kind of obsessive, and I try very hard not to make the same mistakes, but it's almost to a point where it's like I'll shush myself if I'm like around a crowd of people, or I'll like tell people to not say those things around like a group of friends whenever they're opening up about something deep. And because I'm scared, I don't trust people, and it's something I've been really working on, and I just get scared of like saying things to people or the things that I do because I don't want to hurt anyone. Like I'm in this phase of like be perfect, like put on this persona that, you know, get everyone to like you, because I've made mistakes in the past where people don't like me and I don't want to do it again. But that's impossible. Like it's just impossible for me to do, and I need to just embrace that I'm gonna make mistakes, and that is gonna be okay. I beat myself up to a point where like I'll be on the highway with like a group of girlfriends and I'm driving and I'll miss my turn and I'll like hate myself for it. I'll think about it for like the rest of the day. I'll be like, I missed that turn. Like I'm a loser, I'm a failure. And then I also killed a plant recently, and I've never killed a plant in my past like 5-ish years of mothering plants, and I finally killed one. I'm not gonna lie, I cried. Like embarrassingly enough, I cried because I was like, I can't even keep this plant alive. I'm imperfect. I'm not good enough. I shouldn't have plants. It's to a point where I'm depressed because of it. Like I'm destroying myself because I'm trying so hard to be perfect. A lot of us are dealing with social media in our 20s as well, because I think that I see all of these perfect people online and I want to be that perfect person so bad. And I think that's where honestly social media is a very big, like a very bad thing for us. We only ever see like this perfect side of social media and these people traveling and just having it all good and they know exactly what to say. And I'm trying so hard to be the social media presence of myself, not who I actually am. And who I am is gonna make mistakes. Kind of going on a tangent on that one, but I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. Nobody's perfect. I gotta work it. Okay, sorry. That kind of goes with the perfectionism, and then it kind of leads into the next pinpoint that I wanted to cover, and that is like your career path, money, who you are and who you want to be, and just the struggles of trying to figure out your life and who you are in your 20s. And it's very interesting. I've also realized that no one's critiquing me. I'm just critiquing myself so bad. Like, I know they always say like you're your worst critique or whatever the saying is, but I realize that no one's critiquing me. I'm just like judging myself so bad to the point where I'm like losing my mind over it, because I want to have this like perfect career path, and I want to have the perfect marriage, and I want to have the cleanest house, and I realized that no one's judging me for any of those things. It's just me. It's myself. Hi. I'm the problem, it's me. I just have been trying to learn that like I don't have to have this perfect plan yet. I'm still trying to figure out what my perfect plan even looks like. I don't even know where to start because I don't even know what it is. Because, okay, so here's the thing. I work part-time for my husband, and I do that because I kind of lost my mind at the end of last year. I had a very bad emotional breakdown and was like, I can't live like this anymore. I can't keep doing this. I'm done. I can't, not with him, but done with like my job. I can't do it. And so I ended up quitting, and I'm so thankful for that. But at the same time, another thing that crushes me is I'm not bringing a lot of money to the table right now. And so I want to be a breadwinner, and I am not. I feel kind of like a housewife, and I feel kind of like inadequate, because in my head I should be making money and I should be working hard, but I know I'm gonna get there. It's just right now in my current state, I'm just kind of this person trying to figure out who I want to be and what job career I want to go down. And I think that a lot of people feel this way around their 20s, because everyone I talk to, they're like, psh, I don't know what I'm doing. And the people that you think have it together, they're still like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just trying to make money and live my life. It's so hard some days to come home and just be like, why isn't my life where I want it to be yet? I just want to snap my fingers and be 30 and have it all figured out, honestly. And it's something that I have to kind of remind myself, like, to enjoy the now, because, you know, they always say, it's my mom. I'm sorry, Mom. I'll call you back after I finish this video. Anyways, I just think that if you are struggling in like your career path and your job and don't know exactly if you made the right choice or what your choice is even gonna be, just know that it's okay to have the wrong job and learn that you don't want that job. Because like, what's the worst thing that happens? You have a job that you hate. You now know the next job you have is not going to be that job. You've learned, okay, I don't want to do this, so let's try something else. That's something that I've definitely had to learn, because I'm a job jumper. I like constantly am jumping jobs, and that's totally fine. That part's very hard to discuss just because there's so many different avenues and different things to say about it. Everybody has such a different, unique experience. Another thing that would probably be very good for this is whenever you are like working all the time and you just get like in a slump, plan something exciting for like the next week or the next month. Like plan a vacation, plan something like to look forward to. I've definitely started doing that, which has allowed me to keep a very what's the word I'm looking for? Just a job that I wouldn't necessarily want to have. But if I have these things outside of my job to look forward to, it kind of motivates me to like keep going. And you're making money for that exciting, you know, thing that you want to do. So just plan something fun, even if it's just going to brunch with your girlfriends. I did that like 2 weeks ago because I was in a slump, and completely got me back on my feet. I was like, this is just what I needed. I just needed some mimosas and my girls. That's all that I needed. So this leads me into my next one, is married young. Getting married young. I'm gonna kind of run over this one pretty quickly because I know a lot of you aren't married or aren't at that phase of life yet. My favorite advice I ever got throughout like my 3 years of marriage is when my mom, a week before my wedding, my mom told me, if you leave your partner when it's hard, you're gonna fall right back into the same problems with somebody else. Say I was just in a really bad slump with Ben and I was just not doing good that week, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna literally find somebody else out there, and we're gonna fall into the same exact cycle of where I'm at right now. So I'm kind of being very honest right now, and this is very strange. I feel like I've never been this honest on my channel. That's something that you definitely have to learn, married young. As you're in this phase of like learning how to live life, you also have this very serious, important relationship with somebody that you have to stay on top of and be, I don't know, they're like an extension of you. So it's like you have these two things that you just kind of have to learn. It can get overwhelming when you get married young. It can be a lot sometimes, and I have had to navigate that. We're not gonna have, it's not gonna be like social media portrays, it's not gonna be like the movies portray. Like, we're gonna have some hard weeks, and we're gonna have some hard months sometimes. We might have a hard year. It's difficult, but there's also this like beautiful side to it of, I have this person that knows me in and out and just understands me and helps me navigate this life. It's amazing and cool and great and all the words, but it can be a lot. And you also have all these single friends, and then you also have these married friends. And I highly recommend, I'm gonna get to that in a minute, but I highly recommend having married friends, good married girlfriends whenever you're married, because you need that like accountability and people to talk with about everything about marriage. And I kid you not, my first year of marriage, here it goes, here's some honesty. My first year of marriage, I was really struggling just because you're kind of in this panic mode of like, after a few months, you're like, oh my God, I got married. Like, I'm 20, I'm married. It's kind of like, people don't talk about it a lot. And I've heard a lot of people explain this. I'm like, why are we not talking about this? Is you're kind of in this panic mode of, oh my God, did I make the right decision? Oh my God, I'm married. Oh my God, what's going on? What's life? And you're kind of like in this panic mode. That feeling is so universal and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just your life is changing. I might have to cut that one out. But anyways, I'm just gonna sum this up really fast. Do I recommend it? I don't know. I don't know if I recommend it, but now I say I would, because now we've gone through so many things together and it's been great. But if you're married young, you got this. Just be honest with your partner. Talk to him about everything or her about everything. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's move on. So I'm just gonna end on this last part because the video is kind of already long. But you need to have good female friendships. I kind of covered that in the last pinpoint, but you need to have good girls in your circle. And I think that if you're married, you need to have some married friends. If you're single, you need to have some single friends. If you're in the dating scene, you need to have some dating girls that are dating, whatever. I always think about now, I'm so thankful for my 2 girlfriends that are married, because now I can go to them and ask them for advice and say like, hey, have you ever struggled with this? Or like, have you ever dealt with this? Like, what's going on? And they give me such positive feedback. And then, because like my single friends, they haven't been married. They're not in that phase of life yet. So like, I can't really discuss with them. Like I can, but they don't fully understand it. And same with them. I'm not single. I can't give them single advice because I've never been single in my 20s. You need to have these people in your life to sit around and discuss things with and just bond. My sister-in-law also told me this, and I have not stopped thinking about it, is why, like, we need to stop throwing like these extravagant parties and buying all these decorations and having to buy this cute outfits just to like hang out with our friends. Because I'm somebody who's guilty of that. I always think I need to like decorate my house, clean my house, you know, do all of these crazy things just to have my friends over or just to go out with my friends, and planning things to do whenever we go out. And she told me that we need to start just doing life together. Like, just, hey, you go to the grocery store? Let's go to the grocery store. Hey, you want to drop in at my house is messy. I talked for so long that my camera shut off, but like, hey, you want to go to the grocery store or whatever, and it's just doing life together rather than throwing like these extravagant parties and making friendship such a big deal when it shouldn't be. Like, we should revert back to our high school years whenever we would just like message our girlfriends to come over and ride bikes, and like it was out of nowhere. I think I might do like a part 2 just because I feel like this is like such a deep conversation to have, and I love doing these like navigating 20s videos because I feel like whenever I'm like 30 and I'm gonna look back on these and be like, oh my gosh, I was just like a little baby and I now have it figured out, hopefully. So 30-year-old Berkeley, if you're watching this, do you have it figured out yet? I really hope so. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it kind of helped you understand that you're not alone. I'm kind of fumbling over my words at this point. At like the end of the video, I'm kind of like, my brain's chaotic because it's kind of jumping from so many different concepts to another. So I'm gonna end it here, but I just love you guys so much. And if you're struggling with any of those things that I mentioned, just know that I'm here with you and we got this together, guys. I love you. I will be back. I will be back. Bye.